by at least 70,000, whereas owner-operators are saying, no, that's not true. There's a lot of us out here. It's just that we're not working for the mega carriers. The mega carriers are the ones who are experiencing the shortage, while there's plenty of us out here. You know, we're everywhere. We're making it happen. We're getting it done. And I believe that, mostly because I don't have any information that would refute that, and also because I am an owner-operator. I definitely subscribe to that theory that there's a ton of us out here getting it done, moving stuff, and a lot of us came out of mega carriers. I mean, I drove for Werner for a little over a year and a half, essentially, almost, yeah, over a year and a half. I mean, and I've said before, I had a good experience there, but I started there as a company guy. I was a company guy for 14 months, give or take, 15 months just about. And then I became an owner-operator, and I was an owner-operator there for about 4 months until I realized I could make a lot more money on a percentage-based pay scale than I could on a mileage-based pay scale. So I switched over to becoming to a different carrier that was going to pay a percentage. And then I got tired of being dispatched, so I moved to another carrier that let me do my own dispatch. And then when I began to suspect that they were not a really good carrier, well, when it was proven to me in so many ways that they were not a good carrier, I jumped ship and established my own operating authority. And now here I am. So there's definitely a lot of us out here. There's a lot of individual motor carriers. I mean, my MC number starts with a 15, and my DOT number starts with a 40, which means I'm in the 4 millions of DOT numbers, and my MC, meaning my interstate motor carrier number, is in the 1.5 million. All right, which suggests there's a whole lot of people who jumped into the trucking game, especially over the last 3 to 5 years, because of the pandemic and because the market was really good in 2018. So there was money to be made moving freight thanks to President Trump and the trade war. Which, okay, that's fair enough. Now, obviously, we've come out of the good times. We've left those behind. We're not in the good times right now. The market is not completely terrible, but it's definitely not healthy. And part of that problem is that there is so much transportation glut in the market that there is still competition for even terrible loads. So people are accepting garbage freight rates, which are telling brokers that they can offer less money on a load and someone will move it out of desperation. That is a problem that we all have to deal with, because people who are working the cut rate market with either cheap trucks and trailers that they've either already paid cash for and so don't have to worry about the payments on it, and they have, you know, cut rate insurance on it because they're just doing whatever they possibly can to do everything as cheaply as humanly possible and still be legal enough to transport. You know, they can probably afford to operate the cut rate methodology, which is going to translate into those of us who look to operate, you know, on a little less than, shall we say, or better than cut rate model, because we've got either better equipment or we have higher costs for whatever reason, like maintenance or, you know, monthly payments or whatever the case may be. You know, we need to negotiate for more rates, but the brokers, because they're being shown by trends out of the cut rate guys that they can put up, you know, lower rates, people will still move that freight. They're gonna keep flooding the market with cheaper freight. And what that's gonna do inevitably is it's gonna price a lot of folks out of the market. We saw that happening a lot in 2022, last year. A lot of folks got priced out of the market. A lot of the higher cost transport shut down. Several fleets shut down. A lot of companies went out of business. You know, individual owner operators hung it up either by design or because they couldn't handle it anymore. They couldn't get it done. Smaller fleets were failing. You know, a lot of things happened. And even in 2023, it's not been great. But unfortunately, my assessment is that there's still too much capacity in the market. People are still getting into the game. They're still finding ways to get their hands on trucks, and they're still leasing trailers from different companies, and they're moving freight. They do what they can to get their piece of the pie. And unfortunately, what that's doing is that's contributing to the depression in rates, at least according to my assessment. Now, again, my assessment is not to be considered gospel. It is suspect because it is not completely informed. There's a lot of information that I do not have, either by accident or because I just haven't come across it looking up this stuff, or because I haven't gone looking for it. So please bear that in mind. I'm not saying things that are 1,000% true. Like, there's a lot of margin for error in my statement. So do your research, do your homework, make sure you get informed properly. Don't take my word for it. Because it's impossible for, in my opinion, it should be impossible for everyone to believe what anyone says right now. People can say all they want that the sky is blue, and even us right-thinking people who understand, yes, the sky is blue, even though they may be saying something that at face value it is true, it is an accurate, it is an observable statement, it would behoove us to research what shade of blue is the sky. Is it cerulean? Is it a special shade of sky blue? What's the actual color code for the shades of the sky when it's close to the horizon and when this, when you're looking straight up into the sun? Like, what are the shades of blue? Because that's the world we live in right now, where nothing can be 100% trustworthy, thanks to, well, the internet being the internet and people being people. So definitely make sure you do your homework on these things and look up the information, and don't believe whatever YouTuber like myself is talking about, because while some of us are very well informed, not all of us are completely informed. And it's important to bear that in mind. So we've got high fuel costs that are contributing to depressed freight rates for some stupid reason, because, well, markets. And then we've got too much transport in the market still, which is increasing competition for available loads. Now, what they also went on to say in this email is that there was a 41% reduction in spot freight load posts on the DAT board. Now, I have not used the DAT board since I left my last carrier, because my authority is still so young that I'm trying to make sure that I work only with brokers that are solvent and reputable, and that also have their own load boards. So those brokers may not be posting their loads as frequently on the DAT board because they're getting booked through their load boards. That is another factor to consider. Like, I work with TQL, Coyote, C.H. Robinson, and RXO, and I know all those brokers, they post loads on the DAT board, but I would not at all be surprised if the majority of their bookings happen through their private load boards acceptable rates, a good rate on the first load and an acceptable rate on the second load. Still made decent money because both loads were light and both loads paid well enough that, I still made money on the deal. Now, looking ahead to next week, I'm not sure what the rates are going to be yet because they could go up, they could go down. I haven't booked freight yet because I'm going into the shop here more than likely. So that could kind of sort of put a wrench in when I get rolling to start October here, because that's going to happen. October's here already, good Lord above. It's going to be here next, I think it's Mondays, is the 1st, or maybe it's Sunday, one of those two. No, it's Sunday the 1st, I think. One of those two. It's Sunday or Monday, it's the 1st of October. But anyway, going into this shop is going to put a bit of a crimp in my start next week, but it needs to be done, and it's not going to be a huge problem to go into this shop because it's a planned visit as opposed to oh dear God situation, right? So, not sure what the rates are going to be yet. Anyway, I know that we're looking at going more than likely under $2 a mile on average, which is suboptimal. That is not where I want to be as an owner-operator. I definitely want to be at minimum $2 a mile because that ensures I have a healthy enough margin to take care of my personal expenses and at the same time meet all the rest of my other needs and obligations, meaning my truck bill, trailer bill, insurance, fuel, miscellaneous, everything else, right? So at $2 a mile is where I want to be at. Now, there's only so much I can do to negotiate. There's going to be times that the brokers say, no, we're only going this high, we're not going to go any higher, like this is it, this is all we're going to do. And it's either, okay, you take it or you leave it. Now, if they've given you better than, the posted rate, that's progress, that's something. You got more out of it than they were looking to pay out, which is good. So, you did your part in that regard. But if there's a limit to where they go, and if that limit just isn't healthy enough, you've got to make a decision on whether or not you feel it's to your advantage to take that load and just, roll with it as is, or if you feel it's in your better interest to gamble on seeing if something better can come along. Because it can go either way. I've gotten lucky by saying no to a not great rate. And the next load I book, paid better. I've also been screwed where I let a load go because the rate wasn't good enough. It got booked up by somebody else, and then I was stuck having to eat crow on my next load. Stuff happens. But if you're smart about your expenses, if you're smart about how you fuel, and you're smart about what fuel discounts you pursue, and you're smart about, how you operate, you can still make money even in these tough times, because we haven't hit the hard times yet. We're still in the tough times. We're not in the hard times yet. When the hard times hit, it's going to be a much different story. And I'm hoping we never hit the hard times, but in the back of my mind, I'm trying to prepare myself. I think, okay, what do the hard times look like?